What's going on, guys? Yeah, it's been quite a while. Work's ramped up again. But, let's just get to it. I've had, I've shared my, my builds on Facebook in a couple, groups, and I've had a lot of people asking me, how do I get that texture of rot? Like the real deep rot, how do I get that texture? And also on some of the lighter ones, like the Bel Air, I shared that on there. Had a couple guys ask me about how I got that, like, fading rust, I'll call it. So I'm gonna show you guys how I do it. Alright guys, so here we go. Now, I use this. I use Flat Red Primer. All my paints, even that blue there, see? Yep. I missed a couple pieces, so I had to use it again, but that's what color this truck is. This is all I use, is these sprays here. I haven't really tried airbrushing. It just looks like too much to deal with on top of having to worry about making sure your spray's right. It's just too much for me right now. But this will be my experiment for you guys. Well, not really my experiment, but this is what I'm using to show you with. CF-150. Now, hopefully by this point you figured out what color you've chosen and all that stuff. But what I normally do is, when I open up a kit, first thing I do is I'll read the instructions front to back and figure out what goes where, so I have a good idea of how to break the trees up to spray them. And yeah, there's some interior pieces there. The interior I usually black wash, make it dirty. And got my handy dandy pliers here, long nose to hold those pieces. Pair of gloves, definitely gonna need that. Oh, almost buried that. And this is my spraying station over here. Just a bunch of cardboard stacked up. Now, I know a couple days ago Charlie Mack put out a video about painting safety, about having to wear a respirator and all that stuff, and I sprayed this not too long ago, and I can still kind of smell the fumes in the air from spraying it, and I really didn't do a lot. I only did about 3 shots, which you can kind of tell, I think. Yep, there's where the block of wood was. But yeah, it's whatever. It's gonna get rotted. But I mean, I got a fan. I got them doors open, so we go straight out them louvers. That's about the best ventilation I can get. And this will most likely be my last time spraying anything in here without legit protection, like a full face respirator mask, because there's been a lot of times where I couldn't stand being in here and I had to take a step outside for a minute. But well, enough of my babbling. I'm gonna get these parts set up and I'll be right back, show you guys how I do it. Alright guys, got my gloves on. Yeah, I know Charlie's gonna be pretty mad, but I ain't wearing a mask, so alright, here we go. Let me pull this a little closer for you. Alright. Well, basically what I do is I just long shot it. Now, you have your certain distance off of the body to where you lay down an even coat. Now, I go past that distance away to give it more of a light dusting. So, I don't think the camera's going to show it too well, but like I was saying, I just go a little farther than normal away from the body, because I'm not trying to cover the whole thing in that one color. I'm just trying to give it a broken up rot look. So, we'll finish this. Kind of wasteful a little bit. You definitely will burn off a lot of paint doing it this way, but let's see how. Gave us some nice rot on the front edge. And I found that too, is that a lot of the areas on, if you've ever, been to an old school junkyard, I'll call it, where they've got tons of classic cars just sitting and rotting into the ground, ever looked at them, you'll notice, like, what I'm doing here, like that down here. Oop, I'm off soon. There we go. That camera's not really picking it up because of the background, but, the way I do it, it actually makes those specific areas look more rotted, like you would see on a real car that's been sitting behind somebody's garage or something. It's like the roof. Yeah, this lighting is not helping me with that whatsoever. Nope. So, that's alright. This is what I did with the Bel Air, so if you watched my last slideshow video that was like a turquoise green Bel Air that had like a faded rot to it, this is how I got that look. This one only took a couple shots. Oh, that might have been too much. Yeah, that was too much. That's okay though. I'm gonna churn some holes in it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just give it, like I call it, a long shot dusting. And, well, you can see that better because I put it on kind of heavy. Now, a lot of people like to do the takeaway method I've seen. But that's like multiple steps involved with that. Not just putting on your original paint scheme, but adding glue to it, spraying it, painting it again, and then removing removing stuff. It's just too many steps for me, and this was this was the easiest thing that I found. It does take a little bit to get it right, like to actually get the eye of what you're looking for as to how far away to spray. The only way to do it is to just keep doing it. You can't just build one junker and then go to a show car and then go back to junkers, because you're not gonna get that look you're looking for every time unless you do it consistently. But that's that. I'm gonna go ahead and finish spraying the rest of this thing, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. So yeah, that's the dusting. Actually, I'll go pull it off the table really quick if I can get to it. Oh crap! Oh, come here. That's how I did this. It also depends on the colors you're using too. Like this lighter base coat for the body really helps the rust stick out more, whereas that blue is kind of too dark, I think, so you really don't see it unless you have good lighting like this. That's really temperamental to the lighting. And the same thing with the chrome too, the chrome trees. Just pay attention to what parts are on there. Like certain parts you might not want to rust, maybe you want it for another project or something, but this one here, as you can see, I just laid it over and held the tree with those long nose pliers, sprayed it one way, turn it over, spray it that side, down the tree, down on the angles and everything like that. And yeah, that's how I get that dusting. Now I wanted to show you guys how I get that deeper rot, like through, like clean rot through, but I don't have the materials I need to show you guys that, so that'll be another video. But I don't know if I have the vial. I think I threw it out because I got fed up, but I'll tell you guys now, and then later on we'll go back over it. But like let me get another one for you. Let me show you something what I'm talking about. someone's been back here. Like this one. Like you see, like you actually have like a texture to it. Yeah, like you see how you actually have like a texture to it. All that is Tesser's flat rust paint and dirt. Got a big old 5-gallon bucket of dirt right here. Yeah, and that's what I use it for. Well, that and the landscape back there. There's got to be, geez, at least a good. Well, my yard is a bit much. I don't know. There's quite a lot of dirt on that table, though. But yeah, that's what I use it for too. Is for that. So Tesser's Rust and Dirt. Now, mind you, you will ruin your brushes doing it that way. There is no salvaging that brush. So just pick a cheap brush. Whatever, most likely what will fit in the vial, obviously, like this one. That's what it becomes. That's what's left of your brush after you do that, so plan on throwing it out. Or, well, this one actually, I could keep this. You could keep it if you want. Just break off the dirt and everything. Soften it up. If I don't snap this one, that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm going to dip it in paint thinner and take some pliers to it and get the thickness out of it. But yeah, just Tesser's Rust and Dirt, and it's not really an exact science as to how to measure it out and everything like that. Just kind of dip it in the vial, get a little spot of the paint on there, go back very quickly to the bucket of dirt, stir it around, shake off a little bit, and then dab the dirt, then go back to the paint again, not too thick with the paint, and then keep dabbing it again, and it'll blend together pretty well. Now, it may look oversaturated, like it may look too wet sometimes. It's hard to tell. It's basically off of your own eye as to whether you think that paint will dry out the right way, the way you want it. But like I was saying, Tesser's Rust and Dirt, that's how I do that. And I'll show you exactly, well, the way I do it on my next video. But, so that's my rusting tutorial. There's probably a million of them out there and one more to add to it. But I want to get back on that F-150, guys, so I'll see you later.